Hi guys, I'm Manali and this is my YouTube video channel Medical Romance. Please hit the like button and subscribe us for more interesting videos. So today our topic is going to be the paired branches of the abdominal aorta. Now if we consider the aorta has three parts: the ascending aorta, then we have the arch of aorta, and the descending part of the aorta. In the descending aorta, we will have thoracic aorta in the thoracic cavity and the abdominal aorta in the abdominal cavity. So today, if you look at the abdominal aorta, we can find paired branches and also unpaired branches. But then our main focus is going to be on the paired branches. So, first of all, I would like to divide the paired branches into two groups. So, those two groups will be the parietal group of branches, and then we will have the visceral group of branches. So what is the difference between them? The parietal group of branches will be giving blood supply to the walls of the abdominal cavity and the diaphragm, and the visceral group of branches will give blood supply to the internal organs that are present in the abdominal cavity. So if you look at the parietal branches, first of all we will have the inferior phrenic artery. Inferior phrenic artery. And then arising from the inferior phrenic artery, we will have the superior suprarenal artery. Superior suprarenal artery. Actually, the blood supply to the suprarenal gland is very interesting. So, we will look at that later. And here we have the superior suprarenal artery arising from the inferior phrenic artery. And then we will have the lumbar arteries. So if we look at the visceral branches, we will have the renal arteries, and arising from the renal arteries, we will have the inferior suprarenal artery. The inferior suprarenal artery. And then we will have the middle suprarenal artery arising from the aorta directly. Middle suprarenal artery. And then finally we will have the ovarian or the testicular arteries. Ovarian or the testicular arteries. So let me draw all these arteries in this diagram. So first we had the inferior phrenic artery. Inferior phrenic artery. So it will give blood supply to the diaphragm. So I will write 1, and it will also give branches to the suprarenal gland, and that will be the superior suprarenal artery. So I will mention it as 2. So that is the superior suprarenal artery. And here we had the inferior phrenic artery. And then we will have the renal arteries. Renal arteries giving blood supply to the kidneys. And these renal arteries, actually we know that there are 5 segments of the kidneys: the superior, inferior, anterior, superior, anterior, inferior, and the posterior segments. And then they will finally give the segmental arteries. And then arising from the renal arteries, we will have the inferior suprarenal arteries. The inferior suprarenal arteries. So I will write number 3 for the renal arteries, and arising from the renal arteries we will have the inferior suprarenal arteries. And then actually arising directly from the aorta we will have the middle suprarenal arteries. The middle suprarenal arteries. So I will write number 5, that is the middle suprarenal artery. And then we will have lumbar arteries symmetrically on both sides, giving blood supply to the abdominal wall. And then we will have the ovarian or the testicular arteries. Ovarian or the testicular arteries. So here the lumbar arteries I will put number 6. So those are the lumbar arteries. And here we will have ovarian or testicular arteries. So hope everything is clear for you. We had paired branches in the abdominal aorta. and the parietal branches were the inferior phrenic artery and the lumbar arteries, and arising from the inferior phrenic artery we had the superior suprarenal artery. Then we had the renal arteries. Coming from the renal arteries we had the inferior suprarenal arteries, and then we had middle suprarenal arteries coming directly from the aorta, and then we had ovarian or testicular arteries, and then we had the lumbar arteries giving blood supply to the abdominal wall. So those are the paired branches of the abdominal aorta. So thanks for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel. Hope to see you soon.